Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's live stream broadcast. It is a special spooky Halloween edition of N2 Media's live stream game of the week here on Thursday, October 31st at Longview Memorial Stadium. And what better way to end the month of October than with a Civil War rivalry between the visiting Mark Morris Monarchs and the R.A. Long Lumberjacks. Good to have you with us, Nick Sisson here. And tonight I got special guest broadcaster Braden McCabe. Braden, 9 years old, correct? No, 10? 8? Well, come on, say the number.
I'm 11 years old.
11 years old, okay. Sorry I sold you short there, buddy. 11-year-old Braden McCabe here, broadcaster in training. Braden is sacrificing his night of fun, although I don't know how much fun I'd be having in this weather, Braden, but he is going to sit up here with us and broadcast the game. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
You excited to do the game?
Yeah.
Did you know that Mark Morris and R.A. Long can both get into the playoffs if they win tonight?
Potentially.
Potentially, I love it. We've got a veteran up here, 11 years old, already knows that we don't quite know yet. However, this game shakes out, should determine which of these two teams, if not both, can potentially move on into the round of 32 state playoffs next week. But before that happens, we definitely need to sort some business out here, and it is raining sideways. And it's a very unusually small crowd considering it's the Civil War. But we should have a real good battle on our hands here tonight. Mark Morris, 3-5 overall. R.A. Long, 3-5 overall. The difference between the two, if any, is that Mark Morris is a game ahead in the league standings, as their record currently at 3-3. Meanwhile, the Lumberjacks 2-4, leaving more to be desired. But they have a chance to snap a 4-game losing streak on the season, and they have lost 6 in a row in the rivalry. This is the 81st game between Mark Morris and R.A. Long, and R.A. Long has an all-time lead in the series, 43, 34, and 2. The Monarchs are going to receive the opening kickoff as we are just about underway. The Monarchs will be working from right to left, wearing white tops and white bottoms, the Jacks in all black with red trim. Nick Nide has it teed up for the Lumberjacks. And the whistle blows, and it's a kick angled towards the near sideline, fielded at the 20. This is Avery Elliott making a move towards the far side. Gets a block, gets outside, and he's going up the far sideline, and he's got speed, and he has not been touched yet, and he's finally ridden out of bounds right around the 17-yard line. No flags on the return, and the Monarchs are set up 1st and 10 deep in Lumberjacks territory. The freshman Avery Elliott hits the afterburners on the far sideline. That is a 64-yard return by Elliott to start the ball game. Fans, feel free to type into the live stream comment section where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. Tailback is Kenny Mullen, quarterback Carter Huda. Mac West moves to the left side of the line, and it's a handoff to Mullen, and Mullen jump cuts in the hole. And he is stacked up after a gain of 4-ish. Bring about 2nd down and 6. How about that return there, Braden? That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, it was a very good one.
Zach Hoskins watching from Yakima, Vegas. Now we've got slot to the top, clap, handoff. Mullen gets to the outside and looking for a block. There is a flag. Trey Jenkins makes the tackle right around the 1st down marker, but the indicator is a hold on Mark Morris. And one of the keys to the game for the Monarchs, and pretty much the keys of the entire season for the Monarchs, has been to avoid penalties and turnovers. And immediately a 2nd down and mid turns into a 2nd down and long after the hold. And according to the spot of the hold, it was just beyond the line to gain, so the Monarchs are only backed up to the 15, so it's going to be second down and 9. Hugh does slot to the bottom now, and it's a handoff to Mullen. Mullen is wrapped up after a short gain. It's going to be about 3rd and 6. Expect Mark Morris to go for just about anything from this distance. It'll be up to the R.A. Long defense here to force a decision to be made. But the Monarchs would hate to squander the opportunity given by Avery Elliott's 64-yard return to open the ball game. 3rd down and 6. Tight formation here. And a double wing. It's a wildcat formation. And a fake back to the inside, scooting back to the outside, jump cutting back inside is going to be short. That is Mullen on the keeper. And it's going to be 4th down and 2 after a gain of 4. What do you think, Braden? They're going to go for it?
Yeah, they're going to go for it and maybe get it.
Yep, you're absolutely right. They could maybe get it. There looks to be a little bit of confusion here. They're going to stick with the same formation and now sprinting back on from the sideline. Mullen still the quarterback, and now we've got a clap and we've got some movement, and it's going to be offsides against the Lumberjacks, and that is going to be a 1st down for the Monarchs. So the Jacks unable to hold still, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 4. Tough break there for the Jacks. So each team with a penalty, and at the moment the Jacks appears to be slightly more costly as single back is Avery Elliott. Avery gets the pitch. It's high, hauls it in, and he initially squirts past it into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Monarchs. No signal, though. Yep, there's the signal, far side. So Elliott pays off the drive that he helped set up with a 4-yard touchdown. We do have an injured player from R.A. Long. We're going to have to check on the down player here. 9:15 to go, but a 4-yard touchdown by Avery Elliott puts Mark Morris on the scoreboard first. And a good sign is injured Lumberjack is sitting up on his own power. And I can't tell, but I'm thinking that's maybe Franklin Peel there, number 21. He's got his arm crossed, and that would be a monumental loss for R.A. Long. And that is Peel, number 21, so that is not good. And he's holding his shoulder. It could be, I'm not a doctor, Braden, but could be looking at maybe a dislocated shoulder even there. So the Monarchs on top 6-zip. And they are going to attempt the PAT, and on to kick is going to be Anakin Eisenhart. And maybe a false start there by the kicker, Eisenhart, and the kick is good, but they're going to have to redo it here. False start called against the Lumberjacks. Excuse me, against the Monarchs. My bad. So the try will have to be redone here by Mark Morris. Zach types into the live stream comment section, giving Franklin some words of encouragement that maybe he'll read later, Zach. But let's go, Frank. Be a big loss there for R.A. Long if he's not able to mend himself in a hurry, as this kick by Eisenhart is no good. So The false start called on Eisenhart is going to end up negating a point after touchdown. 6-0 R.A. Long after the drive by Mark Morris. Again, Avery Elliott with a 4-yard touchdown run set up by an Avery Elliott 64-yard kickoff return to set up business for the Monarchs. Well, Braden, that was a pretty good start there for Mark Morris, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So being it's a Halloween, Braden, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
I'd probably say Twix.
That's a great choice, man. What about Snickers? What do you think about Snickers? You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Twix a lot too, man. Twix is awesome. Seahawks fan for life is on the live stream comment section, says that wasn't a false start for Mark Morris. R.A. Long was the one who false start. I disagree. If you could go back and rewatch it. I'm telling you, pinch and zoom, the kicker takes a step before everybody. Neither here nor there. It was called. So the referees are always right. 6-0 Mark Morris, kickoff coming. Jacks looking to get the ball for the first time and answer the call. Winner of this one, if it's Mark Morris, we'll say, guaranteed to be the 4th seed, as this kick is angled towards the near side, and it's fielded by Tyjon Reagans, and he flips it here to Jenkins, and Jenkins gets a block, and he's up the near sideline, and he might not get caught. Trey Jenkins to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Lumberjacks. Trey Jenkins on the tricottery. Tyjon Reagans hands it off, or flips it, we should say. And just like that, the Jacks have tied it up 6-6 without having an offensive play. That is going to be credited as an 80-yard kickoff return for Trey Jenkins up the near sideline. Seahawks fan for life looked back and said an R.A. Long defender moved. I'll take your word for it. That didn't take long, Braden.
No, it did not.
That was a pretty cool looking play there.
That's what happens when you bounce to the outside and you have blockers.
That's right. That's exactly right. Expert analysis here. And a night where maybe kicking is not so easy. The Jacks are going to line it up with Nick Nide here. Trey Jenkins, the holder. This is Trey's 4th Civil War as a varsity player, Braden, and I know he really wants a win, and he holds it down, and the kick is up, and it looks good. Hey, the Lumberjacks have got a 7-6 lead in the Civil War. Get everybody in off the streets, take the costumes off, and sit down and enjoy some R.A. Long, Mark Morris football here tonight on Halloween night. 7-6 R.A. Long after the 80-yard kickoff return for touchdown by Tremaine Jenkins. Well, fans, you're doing a great job already in the live stream comment section. Everybody give a shout out, if you could, to my man here, 11-year-old Braden McCabe, making his broadcasting debut. He's a talkative one here, folks. Are you the one that likes baseball too?
Yeah.
I heard that. I heard you're into baseball. My son was also into baseball. We played some all-star baseball over the summer. Well, I didn't, but he did. Braden's favorite Halloween candy is Twix, so I'm sorry to say we don't have any Twix up here right now, Braden, but if we did, we'd probably enjoy them, that's for sure. The rain kind of let up a little bit, which is a good sign for both squads. But everybody's got to be watching at home here, Braden, because there are not many fans in the stands tonight.
Yeah.
And we've got a little onside kick, and it is fielded, covered up on, and then a little hit afterwards. And the Jacks have got to be careful there. Coming in a little bit afterwards was Rigo Vidales, so Jacks fortunate to not get one of those cheap NFL late hit on the quarterback type penalties. 8:43 to go. The Monarchs will start their second drive of the ball game. Jacks have not ran an offensive play, and they lead 7-6. The Jacks have equaled their total scoring over the last 12 quarters played. So got to feel pretty encouraged if you're head coach John Barker and company here. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and the Jacks trying to hold strong at the point of attack, and they do limit Mullen to a gain of 4. Kenny Mullen Jr., an all-league player from a season ago, looking to have a breakout game. He is capable of it, and the ball boy is still on the field. The Monarchs want to go fast. Stack at the top, and now it's another handoff up the middle. Mullen jump cuts and gets to the outside, and now he's looking to get a block, and he gets it. And he crosses the 40. He's undercut out of bounds. The official will mark him out right around the 39-yard line. So a great run there by Kenny Mullen.
Also, good tackle by Devin Harris.
There we go. Great observation. Devin Harris missed some time with an ankle injury. He's back out there here playing in his final Civil War. And we got a little Wildcat look here. And it's going to be Nate Stevens, the backup quarterback, who takes it. And he's got a little bit more speed than Huda, and he's got a 10-yard gain off to the right side. So a little wrinkle here in the playbook for Coach Mike Peck going to some Wildcat, but we do have a piece of laundry down at the 40. And it is a illegal cut block called against R.A. Long. So this is just going to add to the damage here. So it looks like they probably have an illegal tackle there, Braden, or something, or tried to get in front of a blocker and cut him down. But either way, that is going to be a massive penalty against the Jacks. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the R.A. Long 14-yard line. And Stevens still out there at quarterback. 3 up backs in front of him, and the hole just opens right up, and Stevens takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Monarchs. Nate Stevens from 14 yards gets a bunch of blocks, and the Monarchs reclaim the lead now 12-7. Great blocking up front there, Braden, by the Mark Morris offensive line.
Yep.
And now the Monarchs will once again attempt the point after try. And it's going to be Anakin Eisenhart once again. And the kick is up, and this one is good. There it is. Mark Morris gets the PAT. Haven't been able to say that very often this season. But 13-7, 2 touchdown drives on offense for Mark Morris. 7:30 to go here in the opening quarter. Last season, Braden, I don't know if you remember the game, if you watched it, but these two teams combined for 11 turnovers, and the game just lasted forever. It was 49-14, Mark Morris. You got some trivia on the video scoreboard up there. That's pretty cool. It was about your dad, too. How much did you pay the press box scorekeeper or scoreboard operator to do that, Braden? How much did you have to give him?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
Don't remember.
$5, $10, a piece of candy? So good start offensively here. Mark Morris will kick off, and they angled it away from Trey Jenkins last time, but he still got the ball, and now we've got a run-up and an onside kick, and this ball gets out of bounds. So it'll be a procedure penalty against Mark Morris. Brian Levesky in the live stream comment section, I'd love to give a shout-out to Mark Morris defensive coordinator Larry Peck. I coached under him at Battleground with son Mike as our offensive coordinator. Larry is a great coach and great with the kids. Great message there from Coach Brian Levesky from Camas Paper Makers. Larry Palmer's enjoying the game tonight with a Mark Morris fan, class of 1980. Mom class from 1959 from R.A. Long. Rivalries run deep in families when it comes to the Civil War, as the Jacks will run their first offensive play, and they've got two backs in the shotgun and the slot to the top. Trey Jenkins and Brenner Coates. And now they're going to shift it, and it's going to be a swinging gate formation here. And now a whistle. And there's a flag. And timeout is called by Mark Morris. So they want to talk things over, but that kind of caught a break for the Lumberjacks there. They were probably going to get whistled for illegal formation. But instead, the Monarchs want to talk things over. They burned their first timeout. 7:28 to go here, first quarter. More R.A. Long trivia there on the board. What is the mascot's name? Well, Dakota Haynes should know that. You're good, buddy. You can talk. Say what's on your mind.
Yeah, but we should have saved that for the third quarter.
Same formation to start with here. Slot to the top. Now moving out to the near slot is Trey Jenkins from the backfield. That leaves Brenner Coates, and he slides over behind Rivenis. And movement by both teams. And they're going to say offsides Mark Morris. Trey Jenkins moved a little bit there for R.A. Long, but apparently his movement was a reaction to the defense jumping across. Uh-oh, Kyle Fowler's got a comment on the Facebook feed that's going to maybe cause some people a heart attack at both schools, but yeah, I'll get to that in just a second, Coach Fowler. But yes, absolutely. At least when it comes to a single sport in mind, they would be absolutely dominant. And it's going to be a handoff to Coates, and Coates met right at the line of scrimmage, and they're going to blow this play dead. Coming up there is Decker Bartell, Eamon Flemons. Monarchs do a good job at the point of attack, but Coach Fowler says, thanks, Nick, for doing this for our community. Think if we could be one school. Always a fun game, but time to change. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be awesome from a sports standpoint. And I think that, honestly, the kids grow up together playing, for you in tournament basketball or any sport for that matter, Longview youth football. I mean, and then they go to separate high schools. It's not a bad idea. And then we got a handoff to Coates, and Coates is cut down immediately by Bartell. What a tackle there by Decker.
Tried to bounce to the outside.
That's been popular so far here tonight, Braden. I like it. Zach Hoskins, an R.A. Long graduate. We took classes at both schools. Why not make it one school? Because then we'd have no rivalry to talk about. That's why, Braden. There'd be nothing to fight over at Thanksgiving dinner.
Exactly.
3rd down and 6 here for R.A. Long. So far, Monarchs defense pretty stout against the run. This is the 3rd offensive play here for the Jacks. Yet to throw. Rivenis fakes a handoff, rolls to the near side. Has a man out there. Catch is made. 1st down yardage. Tajon Riggins. Nice ball fake there. Carried out in the backfield. Riggins gets the first down. He's marked at the 38-yard line. I'll tell you this much, though, Braden. If Morris and R.A. along basketball combined, they'd be pretty unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that play's perfect.
Monarchs territory. The Jacks working at the 38. Slot tight at the top. Two backs out of the shotgun. And it's going to be a option handoff, and Jenkins makes one man miss, and he's working his way towards the outside and bullies himself across the first down marker and out of bounds. Clock will stop, and he's going to be spotted at the 25. It'll be a gain of 13 for Trey Jenkins, who's already got that behind them. We used to have that before another school. Yes. Well, I'm a Kelso guy, Zach, and yes, we do have a whole community behind us, which is why we usually always win at football. But that's okay. I've seen R.A. Long and Mark Morris beat Kelso in football before. It's happened.
Yardage.
Back there first is number 51. That is Cameron Lair. And that is going to be a loss of about 5 for R.A. Long. So Lair able to win at the line of scrimmage and get into the backfield. That is a big tackle, Braden. That slows the Jacks' momentum down. Coates and Jenkins, the running backs. Slot to the top again, and now Jenkins is going to make it a trips formation. He takes over the slot position tight to the line. And now backpedaling, throwing it out of the backfield just on time. Coates sidesteps inside, gets a couple of blocks down at the 20. Gain of roughly 10 here for Brenner Coates. And there is a flag, though, on the far side of the field, and they are going to call a hold against R.A. Long here, so back them up even more. They got it at the 29-yard line, so that'll be 10 yards from the spot. Should bring up about second down and 24. That's rough. So second down and 24. Jacks need the 15-yard line. This ball spotted at the 39. Rivinus back to pass, pumps a couple times. Going back towards the far side, looking to square up, throws, and it's almost intercepted. And it is incomplete. Third and really long now for the Jacks. A personal foul or a pass interference penalty does not give R.A. Long an automatic first down in this scenario, being backed up 24 yards. But it couldn't hurt to cut into the distance here on third down and 24. You might think of just throwing one up down the field to your best target and live with the results. See if you can maybe win a 50-50 ball, or if the defense intercepts it, maybe it works as a punt. Motion out of the backfield. The mid slot now goes Jenkins. Coates the lone back now. And Rivinus rolling near side. Looking, throwing. And it's almost hauled in by Jenkins. He got both hands on it, just not at the same time, as the pass will go in and try to play some field position. Almost a spectacular catch there, Brayton.
Yep.
.16-yard line, maybe a generous spot. So the Monarchs will take over from there. So 2:56 to go here in the first quarter. Already 20 points on the scoreboard, Braden. And the Monarchs have a chance to add to their lead here. Runs it to the right and hit from behind. Still a good gain, though. On first down, it's a gain of 8. So a second down and 2 here for the Jacks, or excuse me, for the Monarchs. Nothing but run calls here so far by the Monarchs as Stevens takes it across the left side, and he's going to have enough for a Monarchs first down. So a little different strategy here so far by Mark Morris. Very pass heavy so far on the season, but liking their chances here on the ground. 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. First and 10 at the 33. Motion by Mac West goes to the top. And it's a handoff. Mullen sidesteps someone in the backfield there and pushed back. Franklin Peel back into the ball game. Corrals Mullen on the tackle. Peel's just one of the toughest kids out there for R.A. Long, one of the tougher kids I've seen in a long time. It is a gain of 3, maybe 4 for Kenny Mullen Jr. Slot to the top now, wing to the top. Single wide receiver at the bottom here is Decker Bartell. Maybe a good opportunity for Mark Morris to take a shot. Instead, it goes to Mullen, and Mullen carves up some yards and has a first down to the 45-yard line. So, again, Mark Morris has not attempted a single pass so far with 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Three backs in front of the quarterback, and a push is going to give Stevens a little bit of running room. He crosses the 50 into Lumberjacks territory. It's going to be marked at the Lumberjacks 48-yard line, and with 8 seconds to go in the opening quarter, that should do it for the first period. Mark Morris is going to head over towards the far sideline, and teams are going to flip sides of the field. It's not going to be far. It's going to have to go 12 feet in the opposite direction. 13-7, Mark Morris on top. Avery Elliott, a touchdown run from 4 yards out. And a 14-yard run by quarterback Nate Stevens for Mark Morris. 1 of 2 on PAT tries. And for R.A. Long, an 80-yard kickoff return by Trey Jenkins. PAT up by Nick Nide. 12 minutes to go here in the first half. Fans, thank you so much for joining me and Braden here tonight. Having a good old time up here, aren't we, Braden?
Yep.
Absolutely. Remember, we want to kiss it, right? Yep, exactly. Good job. Braden says he wants to be a broadcaster. At least that's what your dad told me. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're allowed to do that. Fans, tomorrow night I will be making the trip down to La Center High School for the first time. It's going to be a massive 1A Trico League showdown between the Seton Catholic Cougars and the La Center Wildcats. I've had a chance to see both of these teams, Braden, and they're both really good. Seton Catholic beat Mark Morris 46-6 earlier this year. Exactly. Yep, they're good. La Center just beat Kalama last week 41-6. And again, we've got 3 backfield blockers here, and they're off to the strong side now, heading towards the weak side. And a direct snap. Stevens behind those blockers, corralled and dragged backwards. It's going to be slightly short. 3rd down and 1. So Mark Morris, again, sticking with that theme in the first quarter of not throwing the football. They are just looking to bully their way up the field. They're taking a page out of the Sean Perkins style. Stevens in the backfield.
Running it again.
Yeah, well, if they can't stop it, you got to keep running it. Converted out to the Lumberjacks 39-yard line by Stevens. What do you think about that formation so far, Braden? Pretty tough to cover, huh?
Yeah. Might be kind of like a play I did when I played football called Diesel.
Yep, it does look a lot like Diesel. Kalama ran Diesel last week against La Center, but they were using their third-string quarterback. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, Carter Huda back in, hands it to Mullen, and Mullen shakes off a tackler, puts on a burst, cuts it back inside at the 10, and he is wrestled out of bounds there. But a big run by Mullen as he is going to be marked down at the 9. That's a 29-yard gain for Kenny Mullen Jr.
Let's see if Ireland can get a stop.
They're going to need it, that's for sure. First and goal at the 9. And they got the Diesel formation out here once again. Nate Stevens back in at the quarterback. He's the running quarterback, but he can throw it. And he gets a lead block, gets through the wave, and he's into the end zone, and maybe a little tackle after the play. But it's a touchdown, Mark Morris once again. Nate Stevens from 9 yards out, his second touchdown run of the ball game. And he's getting plenty of extra love there after the touchdown. 10:36 to go, 19-7, Mark Morris on top. Diesel formation here again.
Go for 2-point.
Stevens up the middle is not
Don't
going to
get
get it this time. So the Jacks stop the 2-point try there by Stevens. Maybe something to build off of. It's a game of adjustments, Braden. Still a lot of time left in this game. 19-7, though, Mark Morris with the lead. R.A. Long must win to have a chance to continue its season for at least an opportunity at a three-way tiebreaker on Saturday. Best case scenario is they get a win and Hudson's Bay beats Columbia River, and R.A. Long would take the 4th spot. That's right. Athletic Director Robert Blackman notices my 11-year-old accomplice here tonight. Dakota Haynes and Eric Elliott on the radio doing some work over here on the other side of the press box as they have all season long. Dakota just threw me a Three Musketeers. I'll have to save that for a good time. So far, Mark Morris is having a good time out there.
Let's see if they can score another 80-yard return.
That would be good for R.A. Long. Brian Levesky says 2016 Battleground at Skyview was played in a torrential downpour. Coach Peck installed the triple option in 2 days. Lost a close one to the Storm, but moved the ball well all night. Yeah, I mean, you wonder if he was watching some film on that Kalama game last week to install the Diesel, but an onside kick attempt, more like a squib kick, is covered up by the Jacks at the 37-yard line. So good field position here to start, but the Monarchs playing it safe on special teams after Trey Jenkins took the Lumberjacks kick back for a touchdown. Assist from Tyjon Reagans as Franklin Peel is over here on the near sideline, still kind of hovering around the training staff.
I think they are afraid to try, so they want to do onside.
I think you're 100% correct. I definitely think that you've got a bright future in broadcasting. Miguel types in, Miguel, what's up, my man? Types in Go Monarchs to the live stream comment section on Facebook. Always good to see you're watching there, Miguel. Jacks have 2 backs, and now 1 as Jenkins moves to the middle slot position at the top. Jacks rearranging the formation a little bit here. Motion is Riggins, and he's going to motion back towards the outside. And he gets a pass, and it's a big hit by Decker Bartel. Read beautifully. No fooling Decker Bartel. He has laid the lumber a couple of different times this season, most notably against Ridgefield's quarterback, the other DeBeaumont. I'm so sorry. I am Landon DeBeaumont. Excuse me.
Loss of 3 on the play.
Jacks taking their time on every snap here, and they dump it off across the middle. Catch is made. Riggins makes a move to the outside. He's got 1 man to beat, and he runs out of bounds. Great catch and run by Riggins, but I don't know about going out of bounds there. Looked like that he might have been able to win a foot race. I guess he would know best. Either way, it's a great play there by the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, should not went out of bounds, though. Might have had a chance.
I love your analysis, Braden. Absolutely. The rain is now really coming down out there. Jacks at the Monarchs' 29-yard line. Jenkins moves to the slot. 4 wide receivers here. Off the line to the near side is Riggins. And now movement up front. And it's going to be offsides on Mark Morris. So this will be the 3rd Monarchs penalty of the ball game. And now we've got a conference here. The other side's official running in. That usually means he wants to overturn the call. So now we got to figure this out. And the official still has to turn and make a call. And it's going to be encroachment or offsides, however you want to call it, on Mark Morris. It'll be 5 yards for the Jacks. Within the Key says, I wonder where the refs went to high school. It's a fair question. Slot to the top here, 2 backs for Rivinus in the backfield. Blitz coming, and the ball's on the ground. And let's see what they call here. False start against the R.A. Long. Kenny Mullen was coming off of the edge. So now we're going to go right back to where we were at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10 Jacks. These referees had to be paid by R.A. Long. Well, the truth is they're being paid by the Lower Columbia's Officials Association, so who knows? I wish R.A. Long or Mark Morris would pay me to do something. Scandalous, I like it, yes. A lot of good comments tonight in the comment sections on both YouTube and Facebook. Again, friends, be sure to share with friends and family. Blitz may be coming again here from the near side, and it is. Rolling to the right, throwing back across the middle, a one-handed catch
by Jermaine Jenkins.
Just like Mr. Braden says, Trey Jenkins with the one-handed catch. He's going to get 7 for his effort. What an effort it was.
As my dad calls it, a moon ball.
A moon ball. 8:09 to go here in the first half. Jacks desperately wanting to put something on the board here. Their defense has not come up with a stop yet, so that means the offense is going to have to do what they can to keep it close.
Yep.
Coates slides over directly behind Rivinus, and now it's a toss, and he gets it to Jenkins. So touch pass officially as it went forward. It's going to be a very short gain here for Jenkins. So it looks like they didn't give him any yards there, Braden. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 at the 22-yard line. And some pressure, and it's a handoff, and not being able to get to the outside is R.A. Long's Trey Jenkins. Couple different Monarchs there. Kenny Mullen, the first into the backfield to stop Jenkins behind the line. It's going to be a loss of 3, maybe 4, and it's going to bring up a 4th down option here for R.A. Long. See if the Jacks maybe go hard count here and see if they can't get a couple of these yards back. Rivenis looking to direct traffic here, sends Jenkins to the slot at the top. Nick Naide down here at the bottom, single covered. And looking that way, throwing that way, and man, just a touch early or a touch late out of the break. Naide made the move, and the ball lands just a little bit in front of him, but the pressure so far has been dialed up by Mark Morris's defense. It's a turnover on down, 6:12 to go. Jacks had a pretty good opportunity that drive, and that 1st and 5 turned into a 1st and 10. What could have been turns into a turnover on downs, and the Monarchs a chance to maybe add another score here, Braden, and go up even bigger, already leading 19-7.
Jack's got to bring the heat on defense.
Diesel formation here, and Stevens runs it off to the left and gets hit hard, and he is dropped, but another gain of 5, maybe 6 before Stevens was even touched. It's a gain of 5. Zach with a bold prediction says Trey's going to score twice in the second half. It's possible. Diesel formation again, near side. And they got an offensive lineman there in the backfield, and same exact play. Stevens gets around the edge and breaks one tackle, ridden out of bounds beyond the 40. Probably going to be marked at about the 42-yard line. But another Monarchs 1st down. Clock winds here, 5:13 to go. First down and 10, another Diesel formation look. You got to imagine that they might throw it out of this look here, but Stevens continuing to just chew up yards. It's a 13-yard gain into Lumberjacks territory. Nate Stevens is having himself a ball game so far here in the first half. And the R.A. Long defense is going to be sucking air here before too long. They've got to come up with a stop here or do something to slow this down. Mullen now switches to the running back. So Diesel formation with Mullen. And he keeps it, runs left, and he's not touched for 7 yards. His momentum takes him near the 1st down marker, gain of 9. Clock continuing to move. And it's going to be 2nd down and a yard, ball at the Lumberjacks' 36-yard line. Mullen off the left. 1st down carry, spotted at the 27-yard line.
All right, Long has to do something about this offense.
And I believe that Franklin Peel might be down once again. for the Jacks. And he appears to be not doing too well. He's got a couple of trainers and coaches checking on him. Head coach John Barker out there once again. But the clock does stop with 3:41 left here in the first half. And he's again holding that right shoulder. So you got to imagine that he is playing through some pain here tonight, folks. The senior for R.A. Long gutting it out, trying to keep himself available. But you got to wonder if he might be pushing himself just a little bit too much. He went down with that injury in the first quarter, and he's dangling his arm there, as you can see. Signs indicate of maybe a sprained joint or possibly a dislocation. Again, I'm not a doctor, Braden, but I play one on TV. And again, diesel formation here, and it's going to be Kenny Mullen Jr. running the show here. And Mullen escapes a tackle, looking to stay on his feet, hauled in after a gain of 5. Yeah, is that Sean Perkins coaching over there on the far sideline for Mark Morris? I could have sworn that when I went down there, I saw Coach Peck, but nothing but run plays so far here with 3 minutes to go in the first half for the Monarchs. Second down, and it looks like 6. Mullen, the quarterback, takes it up the middle, looking to get towards the edge here, and he does stay on his feet, crosses the 20-yard line. It's going to be third down upcoming here. That was going to be Mullen again, I believe, coming up to take the snap here on this next play. Carter Huda runs back into the fold. And the clock continuing to run here with 2:21 to go. So Huda is actually going to be the signal caller here on this play. A little bit more conventional Mark Morris look as they spread it out. 3rd down and 2. And it's a handoff. Mullen has the first down, puts his shoulder down, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Monarchs. It's a 19-yard touchdown for Kenny Mullen Jr., 25-7, Monarchs on top.
Let's see if Arlen can come back.
Still a lot of time left, absolutely. But it's going to start on defense. They're going to have to come up with something in the locker room to slow down this offensive rushing attack. You don't say that very often this year about Mark Morris. But they're going to go for 2 here. Stevens is in behind the diesel left, and he runs left, and he is close. And they're both coming in, and no is the indicator. He did not make it. So the Jacks hold the line there. 25-7 with 2:04 to go. The Jacks do receive the second half kickoff. Still plenty of time here. They got 3 timeouts. Officially have not been charged a timeout. But how about the attack so far by Mark Morris and Coach Mike Peck calling a very strategic ball game here. Nothing but run plays by the Monarchs. 4 rushing touchdowns. Avery Elliott with the first, Nate Stevens with the next 2, and Kenny Mullen Jr. with the latest from 19 yards out.
Most likely another onside kick.
I think you're right, buddy. I think if they're at least going to put it on the ground and try to avoid letting it travel all the way to Trey Jenkins. And this one might have been touched. It's out of bounds. Jacks will get possession after the ball travels out of bounds. No time runs off the clock. So the ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line. 25-7, Monarchs on top.
See if they can get something going before halftime.
Coates, the running back. Jenkins, little pump and go, and it's intercepted. Read beautifully. Blockers up the far sideline and a big hit out of bounds, but the Monarchs get it right back. Number 32, Ryek Perner, with the interception, reading it beautifully. Mark Morris wants to really put the foot down here, up 25-7 with the ball back. Ryek Perner, a junior, did a great job reading that play. Diesel formation, and it's on the floor. Picked up, though. Nobody in the backfield there for R.A. Long, and now a little bit of extra on the far side.
Just threw someone down out of bounds.
It's going to be a gain of about 5 after the fumbled snap. But a bad sign there, considering that the ball hit the turf and there was not a Lumberjack within 3 yards to have a chance to jump on it. Diesel formation. Stevens comes in to run this one. Stevens squirts in between a couple of blockers, has a first down. And he's going to be marked down at the 25. Clock runs now, 1:04 to go. Stevens gets through the wave and is brought down from behind. And it looks like there's a flag here on the near sideline. There might be a 12 men on the field infraction against the Jacks. Clock does stop here for the penalty. And so the 12 men on the field is going to give 5 yards to R.A. Long. Excuse me, to Mark Morris.
I know, but they don't get to have the play and then march it off.
And this is going to be from the original spot, I believe. And the Monarchs.
It shouldn't march off after the play, though. Yeah, they're adding it on to the end of the play.
Well, a little bit of controversy here up in the box. They're getting this 5 yards after the play. And this isn't the college rule that was just created for the Dan Lanning rule, so to speak, but direct snap to Stevens, and Stevens skips through the line and is able to get 6, maybe 7, clock down to 32 seconds, and the Monarchs up to the line, but not in a huge hurry.
2nd and 6.
Ball is spotted on the 9-yard line. Stevens moves to the outside, and he is wrapped and gets it to the 5, and then there's 2 flags entering your screen. And the clock is going to stop with 12 seconds left. And this is more than likely going to move it back against Mark Morris. And it is, so that's going to make it a little bit more troublesome here for Mark Morris. But the Jacks desperately need to keep him off the scoreboard again. So Larry asks a question. He says in the YouTube comment section, excuse my ignorance, but on the kickoff, if the receiving team touches the ball and it goes out of bounds, why is that still a penalty on the kickoff team? Well, it's because possession has not yet been established. It's the duty of the kicking team to keep it in play if in that regard, essentially. So the only thing that R.A. Long cannot do in that scenario is they can't physically bat the ball or push the ball out of bounds. At that point, that's a penalty against them. But that's kind of a long answer to Coach Brian Levesky. Also might be able to type in and handle that question there, but that's the way that I see the rule interpreted. There's possession has to be established at that point. Timeout on the field with 15 seconds to go. Again, fans, tomorrow night be live from La Center High School for Seton Catholic taking on the La Center Wildcats. It'll be the first time down at La Center High School. We'll be joined by Dakota Haynes, who's just to my left doing some work on the radio broadcast, KEDO. But we'll be down there live tomorrow, 7 o'clock kickoff, a big one between top 3 teams in the 1A class. Score update, Napavine on top of Forks, 34-0. We will take a look at maybe some scores around the state. Plenty of action tonight. This game originally scheduled for Friday, of course, but changed due to the possibility of some potential tiebreaker situations. Carter Huda at quarterback now, and it's going to be an empty backfield, and the Monarchs are back to pass, and they do throw it, but it's whistled dead. And it looks to be a timeout taken by R.A. Long on defense before the snap. So the Jacks burn a timeout and want to talk things over, so don't credit the Monarchs with a completed pass just yet. Columbia River on top of Hudson's Bay, 7-3. As we speak, that is a very important game considering that R.A. Long would need help from Hudson's Bay, but the Eagles are in the ball game. The Jacks, I'm not going to say they're not in the ball game right now, Braden, but they got a lot of work to do, wouldn't you say?
Yep. A lot of work.
Final score up north, Decatur 54, Todd Beamer 0. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that. Been a great year for Decatur so far. Got a win against Skyview. They got some hog mollies, as they say. 15 seconds to go here. Second down and long. Looks like about 16. Maybe 17. Somewhere in that range. Handoff up the middle. Mullen has plenty of room. And Mullen barrels into the end zone. Oh my gosh. Kenny Mullen saving his best game for last, apparently. His second consecutive touchdown, this time from 21 yards out. A run play. 31-7, Mark Morris on top. Yikes. And now a little stoppage here. The official motioning towards the Mark Morris sideline to keep everybody there. Man, Mark Morris is putting it on R.A. Long right now. And the extra point attempt, the kick is up, and it is good. So there's the second PAT converted here by Mark Morris via kick. 32-7, Monarchs with the lead.
This has been a rough game for R.A. Long so far.
Indeed, Braden. Indeed. A lot of ball game left. Tactical Dad asks if there's any update on the Ridgefield Woodland game. I don't think that game's tonight.
Nine seconds left to halftime.
Yeah, the Jacks have that one kickoff return. That was pretty exciting. They could use another one of those right about now.
Yep. 4 of those.
4 of those? Yeah.
Yep.
Mathematically, yes. You are correct. 4 touchdowns would be ideal. All right. It's been nothing but squib kicks. And this one is kind of line drive, and it's going to go out of bounds, not touched by anybody this time. And
Yep,
it's
not touched by anybody.
Nope. Jake Moe has another score update for us in the YouTube comment section. Says Morton White Pass, that is, on top 22-6 against Mossy Rock at halftime. Thank you, Jake. Nine seconds to go here in the first half.
Let's see if they can score a touchdown before halftime.
They definitely have the ability to get it to playmakers. But the Monarchs are playing prevent defense here, and it's a handoff up the middle. And Brenner Coates puts his shoulder down into contact and around the 40, falls forward to the 42, and the Jacks are not interested in calling a timeout here to have another shot at the end zone. That is going to do it for the first half. Well, the Monarchs have really jumped on R.A. Long and haven't needed to do what they've been known for, and that is throw the football every single play. A run in the first half by Mark Morris. What a first half effort it was. 2 touchdowns for Kenny Mullen Jr. to close out the half. 2 by Nate Stevens just in front of that. And an Avery Elliott touchdown on the Monarchs' first drive of the game. Folks, the Monarchs did not punt or turn the ball over in the first half. 15 minutes till the start of the third quarter. Very good. Coach Brian Levesky says the refs must have missed it touching the receiving team's player. That shouldn't have been a kick out of bounds flag. Once it touches the return player, it's not a flag. Okay, thank you so much, Coach, for clarifying. Well, we're going to take an audio timeout here, folks. We will be back in just a little bit. Get your popcorn, refill your adult beverages, and gorge yourself into some Halloween candy. We'll leave the video running here for the cheerleaders halftime show, but if copyrighted music is involved, I've got to cut the audio. But yeah, I've got joint cheerleaders, Mark Morris and R.A. Long, doing activities together. But again, if copyrighted music comes on, I gotta cut it. And it does. So we'll be back here in just a little while, folks. All right, Braden, we're live again. So no more bad words, okay, buddy?
Okay.
All right. Well, Braden probably had a lot of bad words to say here at the half because R.A. Long finds themselves behind 32-7. Welcome back, everybody, to Longview Memorial Stadium. The Lumberjacks cheerleaders and students in attendance are not totally discouraged and out of it yet as they look to welcome their team out of the locker room and back onto the gridiron. But it has been tough out there, Braden, for the R.A. Long Lumberjacks. They have given up 5 touchdowns all on the ground. Mark Morris has not needed to attempt a single pass in that first half. And you know what? I got to give Braden all the credit in the world. He knew exactly what the formation was called that Mark Morris has been running heavy all night long, the diesel formation. Braden swears that his team ran it in football when he played, so I believe you, Braden. Thanks, buddy. The cool thing about doing this tonight here, Braden, is you get to see a bunch of teenagers dressed up in Halloween costumes. And here comes the Jacks. In a rivalry game, there is always a lot to play for. Whether or not the Jacks can come all the way back and pull off the comeback effort here tonight.
The Miami Miracle.
The Miami Miracle, exactly.
But more like the Jack's Miracle.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have to think of a cool name for that. And on the other side of it, here come the visitors. Technically, they're the home team as well in some capacity, but they've always been dubbed the visitors here at Longview Memorial Stadium.
Yep.
Longview's other high school. But 5 touchdowns on the ground for Mark Morris there. 2 by Nate Stevens, backup quarterback, but running back extraordinaire tonight from the diesel formation. Kenny Mullen Jr. with 2 touchdowns, and Avery Elliott got the party started for the Monarchs on the opening possession after a 64-yard kickoff return. He plunged it in from 4 yards out, and the PAT no good, 6-0. Mark Morris. Trey Jenkins gave R.A. Long a brief lead after an 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. PAT by Nick Nide up and good 7-6. But then Nate Stevens on consecutive drives scores from 14 and 18 to make it 19-7 at that point. And then Kenny Mullen on his first touchdown run, 25-7. That carry from 19 yards, and then from 21 yards out with 15 seconds left on 2nd down and 17 after a timeout. The Monarchs run the ball right up the middle out of the pistol formation, and Mullen just bowls over a couple of Lumberjack tacklers into the end zone. And that is where we are right now after a PAT was up and good. 32-7, Monarchs on top here. They did put a little bit of extra time on the scoreboard here, so we've got about 2 minutes and 45 seconds officially till the start of the third quarter. Cassidy McClure asks, what's the score? It's Mark Morris 32, R.A. Long 7. And then down south, Hudson's Bay and Columbia River still doing battle. 7-3 at halftime was the last score reported. And that's Columbia River on top in that game. All Mark Morris needs to do is win this one. If Mark Morris wins this ball game, they are going to be the number 4 team out of the Greater St. Helens League. They will be in the round of 32 for the state playoffs. And for R.A. Long, they definitely can keep their season going with a victory. Go ahead, buddy.
What happens if R.A. Long loses?
They're done. They have to win. Otherwise, the season's over and it's going to be winter sports time. Boys and girls basketball, wrestling, and swimming. I don't know about diving, though. Maybe just swimming. There could be some other winter sports that I'm not thinking of, but...
Volleyball?
No, that's going on right now. In fact, I heard that the Mark Morris and R.A. Long volleyball teams advanced to the district tournament today after they had to play a tiebreaker at 2 o'clock at Woodland High School, where I swear there were 15 people in attendance. We're just about set here for the start of the second half. R.A. Long will receive the second half kickoff. Obviously, Braden, they've got to score a lot of points, but I think more than anything, they got to stop them.
If they want to win, they got to score 5.
That's right. Technically, 4 touchdowns and some extra points will do it. They just need to make sure that Mark Morris doesn't score another point the rest of the game to have a realistic opportunity here.
If we want to win, we got to stop Kevin Mullen Jr.
Yep,
and their blocking and other stuff like that.
yep. Got to stop all that stuff. It's technically Kenny Mullen, but not Kevin Mullen, but I'll let it slide for you, buddy. He might come find you, though, after the game and say, come on, kid. No, I'm just kidding. You're doing great, buddy. 11-year-old Braden McCabe here with me, sacrificing, dressing up in a costume, which, by the way, I'm going to be an old man yelling at the clouds here, Braden. I cannot stand seeing anybody over 5 feet 8 inches wearing a Halloween costume going door-to-door trick-or-treating. I'm sorry. I just can't stand it. It's for, like, kids that are, I want to put an age limit to it. I want to say about 13 and under. That's my age limit for trick-or-treating. And an onside kick, and this one is covered up on. Great job there on the coverage by Vidales. If Rigo Vidales didn't get that one, Mark Morris might have been able to recover that. They had a couple dudes in good position. It didn't travel 10 yards, and Vidales fielded it at the 9-yard line, or the 9-yard difference there on the 49. Really good decision by him, actually, because if he allows that ball to go any further, it probably would have been recovered there. So Jacks have great field position at the Mark Morris 49 to start the drive. They got to get to work. And it's a handoff and a nice move in the backfield. Bowling over a defender, breaking a tackle. A man-possessed Trey Jenkins gets it to the 35-yard line. That is the toughest 14-yard run I might have ever seen.
That's what we got to do all night, 14 yards every play. Or 10. Or 5.
All of those are good. All of those numbers work. Man, oh man, Jenkins. That was a big, big run there, a man run.
Let's see if they do it again.
Jenkins in the backfield. Pressure, handoff, and it's kept, though, by Rivenis. Great job defensively, though, by Kevin Hernandez Ruiz. And it's going to be a loss of 1. If Hernandez Ruiz doesn't make that tackle, Rivenis might have took it all the way. There was not a lot of coverage there on the back end. Second down and 11, maybe 12, and they're going to go trips to the top here. And Rivenis back to pass, has time, now trying to escape, and he's sacked. Mac West with the sack.
He could have handed it off or threw a little short pass to Brenner Coates.
Yeah, it's a tough play to take there. A sack at this point, not so good, but great play there by Mac West, and it's going to be 3rd and very long. Ball spotted at the 47. The Jacks need the 25, so they're going to need 22 here. Rivenis has time, loads up down the middle, and it's intercepted. A convoy, and now coming in from behind is Jenkins, and out of bounds, number 54, Bradley Lewis. And Lewis bumps into the back of Jenkins celebrating. And it's going to be Mark Morris football after the INT. 9:32 to go, third quarter, and the Monarchs already back to work. Tough break there.
Is he a lineman?
He's a linebacker. Yeah, linebacker. And there's a penalty after the play, and they've got unsportsmanlike here on R.A. Long. So a little bit of dirt in the eyes after that. Got to be frustrating considering that Lewis, after the play, celebrating, kind of backed into Jenkins, but neither here nor there.
How is unsportsmanlike conduct on offense?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I didn't see much there. I don't know who they called it on or who they could have called it on.
Me either.
Huda back in to start this drive for Mark Morris. And it's a handoff, and this is Kevin Hernandez Ruiz, and he gets across the 10-yard line, marked down at about the 9. Gain of roughly 6. Be second down and 4.
It's hard for us to get a turnover on downs or a fumble or a pass if we're not passing.
Hernandez Ruiz close to the marker, gets an extra push, and he's still going to be a little bit short. He needs to get just barely beyond the 5-yard line, and they're going to mark him down at about the 6. It'll be 3rd and 1. So it'll be 3rd down, and it looks to be about 2. He's going to need to get the nose of the football beyond that 5-yard line here. Nate Stevens in. That means diesel formation, and they're lined up to the left. And Stevens takes it off tackle left, and he's bottled up, and it's going to be a loss. Great job defensively. Franklin Peel is into the ball game. Must be really biting his lip down on every play. But a great job on the edge outside for R.A. Long. Stevens dropped in the backfield for a loss of 5. And the Monarchs are lined up to go for it here. And they're in passing formation. Huda fakes it, rolls, looking to throw, does throw, and this one's high, and it's brought in. Incomplete, not in bounds, they say. Man, that was super close, but you could finally put it on the stat sheet here, folks. Mark Morris has attempted a pass, and they're 0 for 1 officially. Daniel Kobayashi, the intended wide receiver, did come up with it, but out of bounds, they say. So the Jacks force a turnover on downs after the Rivinus interception. 7:38 left. The Jacks came up with a big stop on a 3rd and short there. And now they get the ball back. Breathing signs of life still here. Rivinus hands the ball off. This is Coates. Coates gets a couple good blocks out in front and a quality run on 1st down. It's going to be a gain of 4, maybe 5 there. And Coates comes up a little hobbly there. It looks like he's kind of nursing his left foot. There is a Monarch down on the far side on one knee, and I can't make out who that is, but judging by the red sleeves, it could be Stevens. Tactical Dad says that was a catch. I'd have to go back and look at it, but it could have been. Like it could have been. Patrick Thill, what's up, Pat? Hope you and the family are well. Great play, Franklin. Way to be a warrior, referring to that third down stop on the edge for R.A. Long just a couple of plays ago. Clock winds now, 7:30 to go, third quarter. But Franklin Peel, trying to stay in the ball game here, has come up injured with a right shoulder injury a couple times. And the Monarchs showing pressure, and they jump across. But were they drawn off? And they were false start called here against R.A. Long. So they're going to give 5 yards back after a 6-yard gain on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now. So 2nd down and 9. Jacks break it. Slot to the near side. They also have a slot at the top. And it's a handoff to Jenkins. Jenkins shrugs off one, looking to get the corner, and he's ridden out of bounds. A good run, though, by Trey. He's going to be short of the first down, a gain of maybe 5 there. The official blows the whistle and says, wind the clock. It's been running the whole time. It's under 6.5 to go here in the third quarter. Jacks faced with a 3rd and 4 now. Pressure in the hole, and Jenkins takes a tumble after being met near the original line of scrimmage, tackled down, and it's going to be a gain of 2. It'll be 4th and about a long 2 here. And you got to imagine that with the Jacks season hanging in the balance here, down by 4 scores, they are going to look to probably go for it here, or maybe attempt a hard count and see if they can draw Mark Morris off sides. We do have a whistle, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field, charge to R.A. Long. So the Jacks want to talk about it here with 5:44 to go in the third. It is a critical juncture in the ball game. They do need to somehow keep this drive going and pay it off with a touchdown to keep it interesting, at least. But Nick Sisson and Braden McCabe here with you tonight on this Halloween special edition of the Civil War. You know what's great, Braden, is that it's going to be on Halloween again next year when it's Friday again. Isn't that crazy?
Yep. Kind of a little bit.
It'll probably be 2 consecutive Civil Wars, unless they change the schedule and they don't have these 2 teams finish with one another, but I got to believe that they will. Heading to the fourth quarter, Adna on top of PL Willapa Valley, 8-0. What a ball game there. The battle for the Willapa Trail.
Let's see if R.A. can get it and keep going and try to score, or we're not going to get it and Mark Morris is going to score.
Got to imagine both teams are talking about being still here, because more than likely going to see a hard count here by Rivinus and pressure in the gaps here. And instead they're going to call it and throw it, and it is incomplete. Looking to set up a screen ball in the middle of the field. And it's going to be turned back over on downs to Mark Morris. And the Monarchs will have it 1st and 10 at the Lumberjacks' 19-yard line. Aaron Deckert asks, are you going to be live streaming Ridgefield versus Woodland tomorrow? No, I will not. KLTV, believe it or not. Yes, those guys. I can't believe they still exist. Apparently, they've done a couple of games down in Woodland, and they are going to be streaming the game. I don't know if it's going to be on like Comcast cable TV or if it's online, but we've got a run here, and it's, I believe, Mullen held up by the back of his jersey right near the 5-yard line, probably kept him from going in. No, it's going to be Kevin Hernandez Ruiz. So excuse me, number 5, not number 3. And it's going to be a 14-yard gain, first and goal. So KLTV will be doing the game tomorrow. And again, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be online or on TV. You'll have to probably check with them, but they haven't done a really good job of advertising it. It's also going to be streamed on NFHS Network with a huddle camera if you're subscribed to NFHS. I will be doing La Center and Seton Catholic as we've got a direct snap here and a keeper, and stop short is Carter Huda. So it'll be second down and goal for Mark Morris. But be sure to tune in tomorrow night. Seton Catholic taking on La Center for the Trico League Championship. Both teams undefeated, 8-0 on the season. The coaches poll has them ranked number 2 and number 3. Seton Catholic number 2 and La Center number 3. Not much separating the two teams statistically as well. Second and goal from the 2-yard line here. Diesel formation, Nate Stevens potentially looking for his third. Stevens is stopped short. He ran into the back of his own lineman again. Great job there. Rigo Vidales helped set the edge there for the R.A. Long defense and held his block very well. Stevens ends up climbing up the back of one of his lead blockers and can't scoot around. It's no gain. Third and goal. Jack's defense looking to deny the Monarchs once again.
How is it possible to get the ball back if they don't pass or if they don't fumble? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
You got to tackle.
Yeah, you got to hit hard, or you got to just pull the ball out when they're least expecting it.
Stevens sidesteps, and he kind of just walks into the end zone at the last minute as the hole opened up. Touchdown Monarchs, 38-7. Nate Stevens with his third touchdown run of the ball game. Mark Morris will attempt the PAT via kick with 3:16 to go.
In the third quarter.
And Eisenhart's kick is low, and it's into the crowd, and it's no good. Didn't really get a good hold on that one there, but the Monarchs will settle for 6, 3:16 to go in the third, 38-7. So the Monarchs still 2 scores away from putting this to a running clock situation. The Jacks are definitely not interested in that, but with the way that the game has played out so far, could it be something that happens by the time we get out of here?
It's going to be like
fans, we appreciate you all so much. It's been a fantastic regular season of coverage here for Greater St. Helens League football, specifically R.A. Long and Mark Morrison Ridgefield High Schools. We have made a couple of additional stops this year, and we cannot do it without the support from our fans, you watching at home. We do appreciate the support as always, and if you could consider a donation to N2 Media via Venmo or PayPal, Venmo preferred, PayPal acceptable, and appreciate again all of the loyal viewers and all of the new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so on YouTube or follow us on our Facebook page. Again, it's N2 Media on Venmo or PayPal. Nick Sisson and Braden McCabe here with you tonight. Columbia River on top of Hudson's Bay, 14-3. That, according to Seahawks Fan for Life, a pooch kick down the middle is fielded and returned out to the 41-42 yard line by Adam Sylvia. So the Jacks.
a 2-yard return, I think, or maybe 3.
You're in the neighborhood. A few yards.
A few.
A few yards for sure. 3:10 to go in the third.
At least it's better than nothing.
It's exactly right. Yep. Way to be optimistic. Nick Nide split out wide, one-on-one. Lined up with Daniel Kobayashi. And the pocket rolls, and it's a pitch to the near side. Good pursuit here, and ran out of bounds is Jenkins. Jenkins keeps his feet. And we've got a stoppage here. A down Lumberjack right in front of the sideline. And it appears to be Nick Nide.
Yeah.
And Nick is up off of his feet, or on his feet, and he's heading over here on the near sideline, going to have a seat on the bench, get checked out. All in all, after the pitch, it's going to be a gain of 4 for R.A. Long, 2nd down and 6. It's kind of cold, isn't it, Braden?
Yeah, it's cold.
Handoff right into the teeth of the blitz, and Jenkins brought down. Decker Bartell will be credited with the tackle. It's going to be a loss of 5, maybe 6.
It would have been a good idea to pass to the quarterback so the quarterback can mount to the outside and maybe get like a first down.
Yeah, the Monarchs were blitzing right up the middle. That means their linebackers were just straight rushing the quarterback. And yeah, I mean, it's tough to know what the defense is planning to do, but so far the Monarch defense looks like it's got a pretty good idea about how R.A. Long wants to attack them.
Yep.
Jenkins moves into the backfield. Brenner Coates now at wide receiver here on the bottom, lined up with Kobayashi. No safety help down the middle. The Monarchs really aren't respecting the deep pass right now, and an out route is over the head of Riggins, and it's going to be incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 12.
Fourth and 12. Not bad.
I think that they're going to punt the ball away here. And
Are you allowed to punt fake?
oh, yeah, you're definitely allowed to fake. In fact, the Jacks love to fake. Absolutely.
Fake punt and go deep.
Yep, that's a good idea. If this result holds up, Mark Morris will be the 4th team out of the Greater St. Helens League. Jacks might only have 10 out there, and they're going to send in number 33, not on roster, and now they're going to take a timeout. So the Jacks burn a timeout here. They will have 1 remaining in the ball game. 1:13 left in the 3rd, and
If Mark Morris scores one more touchdown, is it running clock?
no, unfortunately, no. Yeah, they're ahead by 31, so they have to be ahead by 40 to do it. So, yeah, it's going to take 2 more scores for that to happen.
It might happen, but it might also not happen.
What's your favorite subject in school there, Braden?
I gotta say math with Mr. Hartley at Monticello.
You're already at Monticello?
Yeah.
6th grade?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Can't wait to be a true lumberjack at R.A. Long.
That's awesome, buddy. I'm happy to hear that. My son wants to be an R.A. Long Lumberjack, too. Oh, and then here comes the Jacks with some chicanery, it looks like. They switch formations a little bit here. Jenkins takes a low snap, and he is throwing it deep, just like Braden wanted, and it's up for grabs off the hands of the intended receiver in double coverage. Incomplete. Nick Nide.
That should be a PI.
Yeah.
PI.
Well, we do have a Monarch down after the collision, and the players around him are motioning for the training staff to come over in a hurry here. I can't see who the down player is, but Decker Bartell is squatting right next to the down player, so he's obviously a little concerned here and maybe even a little shaken up. It was a collision there between Bartell and whomever's down right now on the turf.
I think it might have been like, I for
It's Kobayashi, Daniel Kobayashi.
yeah.
So he's up, which is good. And Bartell's also up on his own power. And
I think he might have banged heads with another Mark Morris player. It kind of looked like it.
so Daniel Kobayashi is up and walking gingerly over to the sideline. And Braden says we more than likely had a collision of helmets there. So 1:07 to go, third quarter, and the Monarchs are going to get the football back. 1st and 10 at the R.A. Long 39-yard line.
1 minute 7 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, we still got 12 more minutes after this, Braden. Elmer Matthias, what is up, my man? N2 fire emoji. I appreciate it, Elmer. Hey, the girls soccer team for Mark Morris made the district tournament this year. How about that?
Good, but we want our long.
Yeah, do we? Braden Terry Tift says, you're awesome. What do you say about that?
I say thank you.
There you go. Good man. And Kevin Hernandez Ruiz is in to run the Wildcat, and it's on the ground. Franklin Peel throws down Avery Elliott after the mishap. And look at the sportsmanship by Peel. He says, I didn't mean to tackle you so hard after the play. What a nice guy Franklin Peel is. Intense. He's an intense guy.
Probably one of the best tacklers on the team.
I would say you're correct. Him and Trey Jenkins are two of the best tacklers that they've got.
Maybe Rigo, too.
Yeah, Rigo Vidales, Gage Hinsla. Devin Harris had a really good tackle earlier today, too.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he had one.
Clock down to 22 seconds and running now. Carter Huda back out there at quarterback. And it's a handoff. And cutting it back to the near side after a broken tackle is Hernandez Ruiz. And he backs his way beyond the 35 down at the 32. And it's going to be close to a first down.
Close.
That's going to do it there for the third quarter. But a gain of roughly, I'd say, 13 there for Hernandez Ruiz is going to give Mark Morris a very manageable third down opportunity when we get back to action here for the start of the fourth. After 3, it's Mark Morris 38 and R.A. Long 7.
That doesn't make any sense. He was 3 yards short.
There could be a little controversy here with the down and distance to start this fourth quarter.
Hopefully next year it's
Opposite. We're up by, it's 38-7. Well, we're winning next year.
Scoreboard says third down and 3, ball on the 32-yard line. Let's see if they get this sorted out here. Elmer says solid run, Kevin. And then a fire emoji, and then I think that's I don't know, is that a heart? I can't tell. So it's going to be third down. They don't really know what they're doing on the far side of the chain gang. Maybe it's a fire and a heart, and then it says "cuz." So they are trying to get everything spotted correctly. It will be third down and 3. And ready to go. Kevin Hernandez-Ruiz, the running back here, trips to the top with a wing off the line. And Hugh to collapse, some movement in the neutral zone. And it looks to be encroachment by R.A. Long. And it's going to be a first down
Number 55
for Mark Morris.
and number 55, I think, moved on Jacks.
Yep, you are correct. Antonio Navarro jumped into that neutral zone there.
Yep.
Decker Bartel down at the bottom here. Mark Morris probably not thinking about throwing the ball, and now we've got a whistle and a flag, and it's going to be a false start against Mark Morris. So they'll back up 5. It'll be first down and 15.
11:45 to go in the fourth.
Decker Bartel still without a reception, hasn't had a ball thrown to him, but who needs it? Kevin Hernandez-Ruiz sidesteps, stays in bounds, pushes his own guy again. He's chugging, and did he get in? Flag, touchdown, and an ejection. Oh, what do we got going on here? What a run by Kevin Hernandez-Ruiz. Oh, my goodness.
What do you mean by ejection?
Someone apparently got thrown out of the ball game. It's number 27, Adam Sylvia, and it is a touchdown, Monarchs. What a run by Hernandez-Ruiz, literally shoving his own guys out of his way to get into the end zone. That was incredible.
Somebody got ejected? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but Adam Sylvia was ejected. Not sure if he said something naughty or, yeah, tough to say. But 11:22 to go. That touchdown makes it 44-7, Mark Morris. And Sylvia not happy here on the near sideline, walking off the field very quickly. Love to find out.
I think he threw the flag. I think he threw the flag at a player on Mark Morris. I think that's what I saw. Because he saw the flag fly from a player.
I'll have to go back and watch it, but what a run by Kevin Hernandez-Ruiz. Man. Extra point is up and good. 45-7, Mark Morris on top. That is the 7th Monarchs rushing touchdown of the game. $11:22 left in the ball game.
It might be running clock.
It could be one more score, and it will be.
Kind of fun, but kind of not. Because I'm tired and I want to go home.
Well, hey, buddy, I mean, you're welcome to head home anytime you want. You don't have to stay for the end.
No, it's
You
okay.
got school tomorrow.
I'm having fun.
You're having fun?
More fun than sitting at home.
Oh, I'm having fun too, buddy. Thanks for coming and doing it with me.
Yep.
I appreciate it. My son Vaughn, he's done a couple broadcasts with me too. He really likes to do it.
Let's see if they do another onside.
That would be pretty bold at this point. They're ahead by 38 points, so I don't know.
Yeah, most likely onside. 95% of the time has been onside.
You've got good math skills, Braden. Absolutely.
Except this side.
And this one is kicked deep, and running it out of bounds immediately is going to be number 7, Devin Harris. So the Jacks will have possession, down 45-7 with 11:18 to go in the game. A light rain still coming down, and I mean, it's just really, really cold out tonight, Braden.
Yeah, it is very cold, and I hate it. I wish it was sunny 95% of the time.
Yep. I could go for about 72, 75 degree weather.
I could go 100 to 95 degrees. I'd love that.
And Rivinus hands the ball off.
To Brenner Coates.
Coates, a sophomore, gets a yard. Coates had his very first carry go for a touchdown that was called back against Hawkinson earlier in the season. But they definitely like his athleticism and his speed.
I was in kindergarten when he was in 5th grade.
Little shotgun here, flex, 2 wide receivers to both sides. Hand off to Coates. Coates gets the edge, gets a good block, and he is ridden out of bounds. Out there is number 2, Brady Schlecht. Brady's had a few moments here in the Civil War over the last few years. I believe this is his 3rd year participating in it. Mac West has gotten some time. I guess really, not to pile on R.A. Long here, but these games have not been close. This is going to be the 7th consecutive win in the series for Mark Morris, which is already the longest streak in the series history at 6 wins. But this rivalry not looking so much as of late as Coates backs his way for about a yard. It'll be 4th and 2, a long 2, I would say. And the Monarchs have just been able to do it, kind of bullying their way up and down the field against the Jacks over the last several years. They haven't had to throw the ball at all tonight. They have 0 completions on 1 official attempt throwing the ball. So me and my buddy Matt Evans on our podcast, we have a saying about big boy football. Who needs a win and who can run the ball, and back to pass on 4th down, ball over the middle, incomplete behind the intended receiver or over the head of the intended receiver. Either way, it's another turnover on downs for R.A. Long. 9:36 to go in the game.
They might be running clock here.
Yep, they could. Mark Morris still has some good players out there. River on top of Hudson's Bay, 17-3 with 5:59 left. Could be a 3rd quarter time there, or 4th quarter, not sure, but at least one of those 2. Toss play, Avery Elliott, and Elliott weaves around everybody, gets out of bounds untouched for about 15 yards. The Jacks are just, I think,
Getting killed.
yeah, I think they're just ready to call this one a night.
Like my dad said, which one comes to play football, whoever and works hardest is gonna win.
So far, I think it's safe to say that Mark Morris is just wanting this game a little bit more. And
Then the Jacks.
hand off Elliott. Elliott tripped up. Great tackle there by Devin Harris. This is going to bring up 2nd down and 9 after a gain of 1. 3rd quarter clarification there from Jake. Hudson's Bay trailing Columbia River 17-3. At this point, you can already pencil in Mark Morris as the number 4 seed and Columbia River as the number 5 seed. The rain's starting to pick up a little bit more here. Huda Hands it off. Hernandez-Ruiz to the near side. Has a lane, and he gets the edge, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown!
Mark Morris.
Braden finishes the call. Hernandez-Ruiz,
With his
second touchdown.
Yep.
Wow, the 8th rushing touchdown on the night for the Monarchs. 51-7. We are nearing the largest margin of victory in the history of the series.
No way we're coming back.
51-7. The largest margin of victory is 46 points in the series. And the PAT no good. It is a running clock here. But a 44-point lead, if the Monarchs can get another score, they will have set a Civil War record. But as it stands right now, they are still 2 points away from equaling that record. 46 is, but they're threatening it. So the clock will run. I don't know if Mark Morris will set a record tonight, but 8 rushing touchdowns. Kevin Hernandez-Ruiz with 2.
Ollie's try was scored an 80-yard kickoff return.
Yes, you are very, very good at being optimistic and pointing out the positives. I'm proud of you. Doing a great job, Braden. Yes. Yeah.
This has been the worst game I've ever seen.
I hope not. oh no. Yeah, it's tough, man. If you're a Lumberjack fan, it's definitely tough. You know, you want to see your team and your program turn the corner, but yeah, it's tough. And a little squibber, and it's going to roll out here, and they're trying to do the same play to Jenkins, and they do get it to him, but the Monarchs are wise to that. 31-yard line is where R.A. Long will start. I think at this point you just want to try to get out of the game and not have to worry about penalties or ejections or anything like that.
Or
What do you think, Braden?
Or just keep the ball the whole time.
Yeah, punt it?
Yeah, punt it on 4th and long. But if they have a chance to keep the ball for the rest of the game, that'd be good. Better than letting Mark Morris set a record.
Yes, this is true. The rain is really starting to come down now. 7:40 to go in the game, and the clock will run the rest of the way.
Yep.
Handoff. Jenkins coming the near side, and he is finished hard here by number 25, Eamon Flemons. Good run there by Jenkins as he picks up 8 yards. So the Jacks have not been able to score an offensive touchdown so far here tonight, as Jenkins checks himself out of the ball game after that tackle. Trevor Stoner asks what the score is. 51-7. Mark Morris on top.
That is horrible.
It's pretty rough.
Yep. This is horrible to watch.
Well,
It happens sometimes.
it does. It's football, man. Number 15, Sixto Soto with the first down run for the Jacks. So Soto getting some work here late in the ball game.
6 minutes and 26 seconds left in the ball game.
Yeah, if R.A. Long's looking for moral victories here, they can still score an offensive touchdown potentially to ease the pain a little bit.
Just throwing Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary.
I don't know if that's a good idea. And a slip in the backfield, and that's going to be down right there. It's Soto who lost his footing again, and the rain is coming down pretty good right now. Hard to stay upright. But, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, not any good right now.
Not doing good.
No. I benched him on my fantasy team, and I'm so glad that I did, Braden, because when I was on my way to the game, I saw that he only had 14 yards passing in the second quarter. In fact, I'm opening up my fantasy app right now.
I tried to bribe my dad into getting that. He does not want it.
Oh, well, he did finish with 22.45 points. He did throw 3 touchdowns, and the Jets did beat the Houston Texans. So there's that.
Is fantasy football like Madden, but you don't play, you just watch it?
Nope, you don't watch anything. You watch real football, right? But you just have players that are playing real football, and then all the yards and the touchdowns that they get count on your team. You get points for all the yards and catches and touchdowns that they get. So you'll have to try it sometime, as we've got a good run here by Soto to the near side. It's going to bring up a third down and a long 7 or so. Under 5 to go in the ball game.
Yep. Does not look good.
And Rivinus hands the ball off, and Eamon Flemons takes down the running back. And that is number 32, Kyler Settlemeyer, on the carry for the Jacks. But Eamon Flemons having no part of that. A loss of 1. And the Jacks are going to sub in a couple of extra players here. And
Looks like they're going to punt it on 4th and long.
not a bad idea, honestly.
Exactly.
And Reagan's is in punt formation. The Jacks have run a fake punt, though, so far here tonight.
Did not get it, but at least they tried.
And this one is punted away. Decent punt here, and it's touchdown. And it's going to be at the 30-yard line. Clock still running here. 3.5 left, just under that. So here we go. Let's see what the Monarchs do, if they're going to just knee it out, or it looks like they got some reserves coming in here.
The right thing would do to knee it, and knee it, and knee it, and knee it, and knee it till 4th down, and then let us try to score. That'd be the polite thing to do.
It would be the polite thing to do. I just don't know if there's going to be enough time here, Braden, for any of that to happen. The Monarchs have an entire new offense out there. It's going to be number 13, Maddox Mobbs, in at quarterback. He is the junior varsity quarterback, and he hands the ball off, and a decent run up the middle here.
Yep, a decent
That
run.
is Eamon Flemons on the carry, and Flemons picks up 6, second down and 4.
2:23 to go.
And the Monarch cheer staff and student section very bold right now with the I Believe chant. Super bold. Handoff, and Flemons shaking off Lumberjacks. Wiggles his way for a first down. Ball will be spotted at the Monarchs' 44-yard line. 1:45 to go here. The Monarchs could potentially still set a record here for largest margin of victory if they can score.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to try to, though. I think that they're going to probably take a knee here. I think.
Yeah. It would be the polite thing to do. I think if it was on Friday, we would have a better chance, but since it's Thursday, it's like a different,
It's a jinx.
yeah.
Yeah, different day of the week. Yeah.
Then they're normal too, and like, yeah. So they're like, they're not used to playing on Thursdays, and they're used to playing on Fridays. Yeah.
Well,
It feels different.
they're calling a timeout, and they're going to bring back in the seniors here. I believe that they are going to just take a knee here and get out. But Mac West is back out there. Hernandez Ruiz out there. Carter Huda back out there. Dalton Stevens.
$1:17 to go. Fourth quarter.
Got to imagine it's going to be victory formation here for the Monarchs.
1:17. I think if they need it like 4 times, I think that'd be like 25 seconds, and then it'd be like.
I think it's going to be just two knees. And well, that is going to do it here in just a minute's time, Braden. Mark Morris is going to clinch that 4th playoff spot. They will finish with a 4-5 record overall, but 4 of those wins in league play. They'll be 4-3 in the Greater St. Helens League, and they're going to await what the committee decides for them here for next week. They'll probably play Friday or Saturday, depending on who they play and where they play, but you can almost bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be playing somebody, you probably would think in the top 6 in the state of Washington, as Mark Morris nearly sets a record here in the Civil War. 51-7, they win it over R.A. Long tonight. Nick just got home. What did I miss? You missed 8 rushing touchdowns.
For Mark Morris.
For Mark Morris, yes. 3 of them by Nate Stevens, 2 by Kenny Mullen Jr., 2 for Kevin Hernandez Ruiz, 1 for Avery Elliott. Mark Morris did not complete a single pass tonight, Matt Evans. Not a single pass for Mike Peck's Top Gun offense. They attempted 1 throw the entire night, and they won it with the diesel formation all night long.
That does not feel good for the Jacks.
That definitely does not. Yeah, but Top Gun, exactly. Yeah, I mean, talking with Coach Peck before the game, it was just all about finding a way to win, and the game plan was successful as the Monarchs go to their end zone over on the far side. They are victorious, the 7th consecutive win in the series.
Fun fact, Coach Barker actually went to Mark Morris, and head coach Coach Peck actually went to R.A.
I'm impressed that you know that. Braden, 11 years old, Monticello, 6th grade student. Great job tonight, buddy. I appreciate you for coming on by. I hope you had fun. Say goodbye to everybody, though.
Bye.
All right. That is Braden McCabe, the co-broadcaster for tonight. And I appreciate you stopping by and doing the game with me. Tomorrow night, I'll have Dakota Haynes with me in La Center, Washington. We're going to La Center High School, and it's going to be an awesome game between Seton Catholic and La Center. And also tomorrow night, we've got the Greater St. Helens League Championship for the 2nd consecutive year. It'll be decided by Woodland and Ridgefield. That game to be played at Woodland High School. It'll be streamed on KLTV here, Kelso Longview Television Syndicate, and also the NFHS Network if you're interested in watching that. But tomorrow night, we've got free football once again. It's going to be down at La Center High School. Fans, before you jump off here for tonight, just consider a small charitable donation to the @N2 Media Foundation. The Venmo account preferred, PayPal acceptable, but a small $5 donation goes a long way in keeping the lights on and, you know, keeping some money set aside for a rainy day in case of equipment malfunction. But appreciate everybody tuning in and watching tonight's ball game. good season overall here for R.A. Long. They did end up having a 3-game winning streak along the way. So some bright spots, and this game was meaningful for them tonight. They were able to have a chance to get to the postseason. Mark Morris, as they break huddle and are greeted by the students that actually came out here tonight on Halloween to cheer them on, are going to get a fight song rendition here by the Monarchs football team, victorious 51-7. And there is the Monarchs fight song. And again, they win it tonight, 51-7. Player of the game tonight. Whew. Man, I think Nate Stevens is probably the player of the game. I would maybe even go with Coach Peck for the game planning tonight. Nothing but runs. They attempted one pass, and completely. They didn't turn the ball over one time tonight, which is the first time all year that has been the case. So you gotta really tip your cap to the coaching staff to come up with the right game plan. But man, Nate Stevens with 3 touchdowns tonight. He's the leader in the clubhouse. And, I'm not going to say that Nate's had an up and down year, because I don't really think of it like that. But Nate came in to battle for the starting quarterback job. They split duties with Carter Huda, for a few weeks there to start the season. Didn't get a ton of reps throughout the year, but when he got them, he took advantage of them. And tonight he comes in as the diesel formation quarterback / running back, basically running back, and got behind his offensive line, and he used his speed and some elusiveness. There were some really powerful runs here tonight, though. You could tell that the Monarchs just had a different gear about them. It was all bruising, determined touchdowns for Mark Morris tonight. Kenny Mullen had 2 really impressive touchdowns. Kevin Hernandez-Ruiz had the 2 most impressive touchdowns I've probably seen so far this season. So you got to give those guys a lot of credit. And the defense played great. Technically, the defense pitched a shutout. They didn't give up any points. It was a kickoff return for touchdown, was the only score that R.A. Long was able to get. And, it came on the heels of the first Monarchs touchdown, and R.A. Long got a 7-6 lead. But since that point right there, the Monarchs reeled off 45 straight to put the exclamation point on this one. So Mark Morris advances. Who they play, we do not know, but we will find out next week, more than likely Sunday early in the week. There still will be a tiebreaker to get the last seed out of the district. It'll be on Tuesday between Aberdeen and Columbia River. Columbia River defeats Hudson's Bay 17-3. So had the Jacks won tonight, they would be playing bonus football on Saturday, but we don't need to worry about that. Mark Morris advances to the postseason. They are 4-3 overall in the Greater St. Helens League, 4-5 overall on the season, counting non-league play. And the Jacks will finish 3-6 overall on the year, and they go 2-5 in the Greater St. Helens League, good for 6th place. Good season for R.A. Long. Appreciate everybody coming on out tonight and watching the live stream. And if you're not following us on all of our social media platforms, please do so, no matter where you're watching right now. Make sure that you are following us on YouTube, Facebook, and the artist formerly known as Twitter. I do tweet. I do post. I do X. That's where you're going to see a lot of information, snarky comments, and live stream links. But fans, if you enjoyed your season coverage of Mark Morris and R.A. Long football this year, again, please do consider that donation. N2 Media, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate everybody. Tomorrow night, we're going to be back down at La Center High School. It's Trico 1A Football League Championship to be determined. Cannot wait. First trip down to the center. Be joined by Dakota Haynes, former graduate here of R.A. Long, and he's currently finishing up on the radio with Eric Elliott for KEDO. So appreciate everybody watching the ball game here tonight. And congratulations again to the Morris Monarchs and a great season for the Lumberjacks. Back at it tomorrow night, live at 7. Hope to see you all then. Happy Halloween.